Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, and thanks for checking me out for another episode of Let Me Put You Up on Game. So, today is Tuesday, November the 27th. So we moving it right along, getting past the Thanksgiving Day holiday weekend, moving on into Christmas, steadily moving forward. But when I get started today, I just basically want to give a shout out to my homegirl Mika. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Adrian College alum. But yeah, she forwarded me this link earlier today from a blogger, a blogger by the name of 6'4". Yeah, 6'4", not 6'4", 6'4". That's SIXFOE, in case you was wondering. But yeah, so I was checking out the blog. She said it might be something interesting that I could talk about on my radio show. So since I had a topic for this week already, I went ahead and just took a look at it anyway. I figured I'd talk about it today. So the name of the blog by 6'4", all right, is Detroit City of Blacks. All right, the title of this entry is either use birth control or self-control, but get off of welfare. So I mean, immediately when I read the title, I kind of chuckled. I mean, I knew what type of blog it was going to be, so I went ahead and took a look at it. So I read through it a little bit, and actually the blogger actually is considering three major forms of reform for the welfare system. Basically what we're looking at is three things. The first one being child care, the second one being cash assistance, and the third is transportation. So so some of it is kind of comical. However, it could be some reality to it. But not to get really into specifics of the welfare reform that's mentioned in this blog, it just kind of got me to thinking. I know that obviously it was written about people in Detroit. So we're looking at basically a city with majority black people. But then I was just thinking, that is still just a stereotype. I mean, what you want to consider also is that with the welfare and cash assistance and government assistance, there's so many different groups that are affected. And the funny thing about it is that it's not just black people. It's not just single women. It's not just single parents. It's not just low income. I mean, so with that in mind, I just did a little research. And something that I found out that was I kind of figured, I just didn't know that the number was this high. But I mean, I actually did some research and found out that out of looks like it's about 22 million Americans that actually have master's degrees. But out of that, 360,000 of those were receiving government assistance. Now, we're talking about people with master's degrees. We're not talking about low income, low educated citizens. We're talking about people with master's degrees. These aren't even just these aren't just associate degrees or bachelor degrees. You're talking about a master. So you're looking at someone who's been through the education system, has supposedly been prepared for to live their life and live prosperously, but even they're on government assistance. So just with that in mind, I was thinking, going back to the blog that I read before, and the reform that they speak of, basically, it is kind of pinpointed towards actually in this case, single black mothers. And I guess the thing is, of course, if you can't afford to have kids, then don't have them. So I mean, I guess that's a good theory, but in the grand scheme of things, even if you had some type of welfare reform that would stop women from having kids that they can't afford and being on assistance, I mean, the reality of it is even without them being on assistance, we're still paying taxes. So this is never, even if you had the most 100% reform of welfare, we're still going to be paying taxes, and we'll be paying them to somebody. So I don't know. I guess what I'm really thinking about, though, is just a stereotype. I know that, like I said, this blog was kind of centered around the young black female who has kids and has no way to support them. But then at the same time, there's a larger scale here. I mean, you're talking about people with master degrees. There's even a reference to people with PhDs who are receiving government assistance. So, I mean, even at this point, we're talking about people with education, people who have pretty much, been prepared to get into a field and be prosperous and not just work a job, but work in a career and still need government assistance. So, I mean, for me, I think that reform needs to be directed in another way. I mean, if the workforce or the career path that you choose pays a decent living, then you wouldn't have to have assistance. Now, there's always going to be someone or a group of people who may take advantage of the system. However, the reform, even though it's directed totally at them, there's going to be others that, kind of get put to the wayside or caught in the crossfire. So, for instance, if you do some reform that's just dedicated to keeping a single mom straight and narrow and not having kids and taking up all the government assistance, then somewhere along the lines that PhD holder, that master's degree holder is going to get caught in the crossfire and someone's going to lose out. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. But definitely, though, you don't want to stereotype the welfare recipients, because there's more people on government assistance these days than there has been in years. I mean, we're at a record amount. And I think the reform at that point has to be focused on jobs. So if you reform the job market, you reform the career paths, just giving someone applicable skills is one thing, but applicable skills to get into a job field or a career that's actually going to make them some money is another. So I think that's a corporate America thing, with everyone downsizing labor but still trying to make consistent profit. I think a lot of us are getting lost in the shuffle, and that's why there's so many people on assistance. So yeah, I agree there should be some type of reform. However, welfare reform, I don't think so. I think the reform has to be directed at the job industry. But hey, that's just what I think. But shout out to my girl Mika, man. Adrian College alum. Shout out to 6'4". Actually pretty interesting. So if you have a second, go ahead and check out the blog, 64.blogspot.com. Just gave you a little free pub, so it's all good. But you know what it is, man. It's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern. And look, I know people say the game is to be sold and not told, but you know y'all my fam, so I'm going to throw you that for free. Hey, don't forget today is Tuesday too. So check me out today on the livest cloud radio show on the planet, straight from the E-Block, 6:30 on your dial, man. Just check out the YouTube page, www.youtube.com/FlipsideInc. Alright? Holla at your boy, man. Get at you tomorrow.
In my hand, okay. Block on my back, gotta do it for my hood, cause you know it's where I'm at. Everywhere niggas go, I stay reppin' my town. Detroit be the city where it